Hello and welcome to this quick KeyForge token review video, where we're going to be looking at some tokens from Buy the Same Token. And I'll start by saying that this is in no way a sponsored video. I bought these tokens at usual retail price and I had no idea that a video was coming. I just thought I'd review them and give my impressions of them. So the first impression, to put it very simply, is I'm really impressed. They look quality. And perhaps just as importantly, they feel quality as well. And we'll basically go through them token by token so you can get an idea about them and make a decision as to whether you might want to pick them up yourself. I'm well aware that they're not the cheapest on the market. There are cheaper tokens out there for sure. So it's your decision regarding the quality and what you'd like to pay for that. But all I can say again is that I'm really happy with these so far. So let's go through them, starting with the keys, and that's the name of the game of KeyForge. So this is what we have. So an interesting design, and they sort of slightly different shapes, and they interlock. So there's our yellow, blue, and red keys. The idea being just to indicate they're forged. Shove an amber in there, and let's say there's two that have been done. There you go, and you can just join them together. Oh, we've lost one. Let's come back. Here we go. So click amber in there, and that's your way of representing that those two are forged. So it's all a bit interesting, kind of unique. I like it. It's weird. And originally, when I sort of saw this design, I wasn't that much of a fan, but now that I've been playing around with it, it's really cool. So let's just put the final one in there and make this click, and there you go. Put it in there just for fun. So that's really solid. Looks really good. Let's just talk a bit about the materials here. As you can probably see on the camera, that the lines they're really sharp, and there's a really good thickness there. You can just get an idea that you're getting a good amount of material in there. So there you go. That's really nice, really nice. So those are the keys. And we'll leave the amber out because that's just as important. And here's a selection of amber. Again, so now with these tokens, you actually get a choice of colors for some of these tokens. So what I've done here, you can probably get a sense of that from what you can see on the camera, is deliberately gone for colors that don't clash too much. So it's pretty clear. So rather than go for yellow amber, which could perhaps clash a little bit with the stun tokens, I've gone with sort of the orangey style. And these are quite nice. You notice they're slightly subtly different patterns for some of them. And again, nice solid material, and just have a really nice sort of a glowy feel as well, which I guess goes to the theme of the game. So really happy with the amber as well. So whilst we're on the right as well, we'll talk about the chain tracker. And this is really solid because essentially it's 2 bits that come apart. And also this is really nice. This is the magnet that holds them together. So I've used some other tokens where there's just a sort of metal rod that kind of comes loose and it's not very solid. This magnet is really good. Just like click. Look at that. Let's do that one more time. Pull them apart and click. So that just oozes quality. Really like it. So it's nice and simple, and the lettering for the chain tracker is really, really crisp as well. So it's real smooth movement. There's no like grindiness. It's just smooth all the way around. So I really like this. Previously, I've had this style of chain tracker. Haven't liked it that much. It's felt fiddly, but it just feels good. It's not perfect though. One thing I noticed is there's no 0 setting. So you can go down to 1 chain and it indicates that, but go down again, you just end up at 24. So I guess you could just throw it to one side and when you don't need it, but I'd like the idea of it if explicitly saying 0. I would have liked that. But again, that's really solid, really nice. So for the other remaining tokens, what I'd do, I'm going to bring out a couple of cards so you can get an idea of how they look in terms of sizing and everything else. And in fact, I should probably start with the card over here, just so you can see how the amber sort of stacks up. So if we were aiming for 6 to forge a key, it would look a bit like that. So there you go. That's a good, easily visible sign as to what's going on. That's pretty cool. So let's put those over there. So here we go, 2 creatures. So we can look at tokens like the power tokens. So again, I went for this sort of red and black color scheme. So it's really crisp and clear. And let's just put some of those down. These flip. So I've got +1 on one side, +3 on the other. And there are other sort of numbering options, but I went with these. So again, that's pretty clear what's going on there. Then we have the damage tokens. So these are nicely sort of translucent as well. Again, like with all of these, a really nice thickness. So let's add some damage. Here there's a selection. I've got, I think, 1 and 2 are available, and the other one's 5 and 3. So you should be able to cover all eventualities of that. Pretty nice. To the left, I've got some stun tokens, which have a really nice yellow and black feel, so they're pretty unmistakable. Now, these are the newer ones that Buy the Same Token have just started doing. On the flip side, they have the Doom token, which is not very much used in the new set anyway, but it's a nice to have. Because otherwise it would just be stun on one side and stun on the other. So it's nice to have it, and you can probably find a cool use for that token anyway. But there you go, let's stun a creature there. And finally, we come to the armor tokens. Now, I was in 2 minds as to whether to get these, because it tends to be one of the rules of the game that I just tend to keep a mental track of, and the same with opponents, and I haven't really needed to use these very much. But I thought, for completeness, let's get them. Again, like the others, nice and thick. Here we've got a choice of sort of +1 on one side, and on the other, oh, I haven't taken the wrapper off that one. That's poor of me. But that's probably quite handy, actually. It's just a reminder to one, or tell everyone, that all of these come with this protective paper on both sides of all the tokens, just so that when you unwrap them, it's a bit of a chore, but it means they're pretty much pristine. But on the other side, we have this armor broken symbol, and that's handy because then you can say when armor's been broken during a round of the game. So in summary, it's a really good token set. I'm really looking forward to actually using these, because they just look really appealing and feel really appealing. With just sort of enhanced enjoyment of the game is how I sum it up. So check them out. If you Google Buy the Same Token, and that's Buy, B-U-Y, you'll find their Etsy store, and it's all on there. And they do tokens for KeyForge and a whole suite of other games as well. Lead time is pretty good as well, although they, I think, allow, say, around a month for delivery. I think it only took a week in my case. Your mileage may vary. I guess it completely depends on a whole multitude of factors. But please check them out. And thanks for watching this video. Feel free to subscribe, and I shall keep you updated with more KeyForge and other gaming content. Thank you.